launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the R.I.F.T Nation Network, the R&N, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello, and welcome to another wonderful edition of the Otter's Den with your hosts, Keith Ottersberg and Joni Templeton.
What is happening?
There is so much happening out there. It is crazy.
Dude, if you only knew, because I'm working on the show for Wednesday night because it's 4th of July. So I thought, well, I'll do America's solar return.
Yeah. Hey, Cindy.
So I looked at it over the weekend, but I always got to look at it a couple of times because sometimes do you ever do that where you look at something and it's like, I'm not feeling that I'm seeing it.
Yes.
Like you're reading a book and it's like, I'm not picking up the vibe on this book. I don't like it. So you put it down, then you pick it up and it's like, I love this book.
Yeah.
Well, I do that with astrology all the time. And if I'm not feeling it, now I've learned not to push it. I just say, I'll go vacuum or do laundry or do something else.
Yeah.
Because you're just not in the frame. I don't know. Your mind just can't. I don't know what it is. I thought, how did I miss this over the weekend? So I looked at it this morning and I was like, how did I miss this? Well, I don't know, because my mind was going 1,000 miles an hour over the weekend, maybe. I don't know. But then the chart started talking to me and I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So I can tell you a little bit about it tonight. I'm going to tell you something right now that I see in this with this magic triangle. We are going to be in a completely with 25, 26 in a completely different financial system.
Yeah, it's things are changing.
Oh,
Coming.
it's happening now. Look, I'm going to show it exactly where it's at. And I'm going to say, and then next year we're going to go, remember when we talked about that on the show?
Hey, Michelle.
Not now. What's funny is Uranus is cryptocurrency.
Mhm.
Look at, you probably can't see that. I'll have it up on the screen. Trust me, I'll have it up on the slideshow Wednesday.
Okay.
Uranus and Venus are together. Conjunct.
What?
Uranus and Venus are together.
That's a good thing.
On that, well, Venus is the stock market. It's big money. Uranus, what does Uranus do?
Poop.
Boom.
Expands things.
Yeah, and Uranus just blows everything up. It's like chaos. Everybody's like going, they're losing their chaos.
Sometimes it's in a good way.
It's always in a good way because it breaks things down. It's like those video games that the kids play where they get like the big laser things and they can blow up stuff. That's Uranus. Uranus is lightning.
Yeah. I like lightning. I like thunderstorms.
Well,
You.
I'll tell you the house is the magic triangle that we've talked about that's going to be around to like 2030. What's funny about this magic triangle is that this magic triangle is technically Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, right? That's what right now in America's solar return chart for 25, 26, Uranus and Venus are together, unusual. Neptune and Saturn are together, and Pluto and the rising are together.
Interesting.
So we have not 3 planets in this magic triangle. We've got 6.
That's cool.
In addition to that, we have 2 other magic triangles going on in here with the moon, which is the people.
Hey, Chris.
The sun, which is the president. And Mars, which is...
Yes, Renee.
Absolutely. That's the military.
Mm-hmm.
Is the other magic triangle. And then we've got the sun. And then we've got Jupiter, Mars, and the moon. The people, the military, and Jupiter expansion and blessings.
The thing is,
it's crazy.
People have been calling for change for decades. Okay?
Dude.
And we keep electing people who don't bring the change. And then we elect somebody who brings the change, and everybody fights the change.
Well, because people hate change.
Yeah.
And no matter what. And so when I saw how good this magic triangle was, all this crap going on in this chart today, I did some research. And I thought, this is magnificent. It's going to be bumpy because Uranus is going to be in there. Pluto.
Right.
This is so dynamic coming off of the Pluto return because Pluto's sitting right on the ascendant. So it's saying, I've torn you down. And remember, Aquarius is the collective. Pluto wasn't Capricorn during the Pluto return in America, and it tore down the entire structure of government. We didn't see it, but it happened. I'm telling you, it happened.
Yes.
It got the energy, there was no getting in the way of this. So what's amazing about this is that Pluto is now on the rising of the United States with the ascendant, which is the mood, the personality. It's in the lower degrees, where in Pluto return, which it was really, really strong 2020 to 2024, but it started in 2008. This cycle began to really manifest in 2008. So I'm going to backtrack between now and Wednesday and go through, because we know we had the whole banks caved in 2008.
Yes.
And it was in the financial house of America, because it did not get fixed, and they just kept borrowing money. The whole system has collapsed. Hi, hon, how are you? So this is fascinating stuff. Are you ready for it?
Yes. 369, Renee. 369. That's
well,
the
let's see.
Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio.
Okay, so it's 2. Here we go, guys. It's 2 sextiles, which are 60. It's 2 sextiles, which are 60 degrees each, which would be 120. And then a trine, which is 120. So it would actually be 240. The magic triangles are 240.
My apologies. My Scorpio's kicking in. My giggles.
Where is the 10th house is Scorpio, which is the president. But the moon, which is the people, is up in the 10th house. Trining the sun, the leader. And the leader is in the 6th house, which is workers. That's the workforce.
And
job numbers came out today. Highest, I looked it up. Wages are up the highest in 60 years.
Yeah.
There's no denying these. And I did research on it, because I thought this chart is phenomenal. Inflation is down to 2.4. It was high last year at 9.1.
9.1 inflation.
9.1 was the highest it got.
%. And now it's at 2 point something.
2.4.
2.4%.
The biggest health
6 months.
Biggest health Medicare scam was busted by the DOJ today. And it was many states. It was like 10 states where doctors are performing practices on people and then billing Medicare or Medicaid, whichever it is, Medicare.
Yeah, I got it right here. Let me read the caption.
Read the caption.
Arrest. DOJ just announced the biggest healthcare fraud bust in American history. 324 individuals, including doctors and nurses, have been charged in a sweeping operation that uncovered more than 2.5 billion, that's with a B, billion, in fraudulent claims targeting Medicare, Medicaid, and telemedicine. This takedown exposed kickbacks, fake prescriptions, and entire pill mill operations, all ripping off programs meant to serve seniors and the vulnerable. It took the FBI, DEA, HHS, and state attorneys general working together to bring this to light. While Dems keep demanding more government-run health care, this is what's happening: corruption, waste, and no accountability. This is
2.5 billion.
Tougher oversight and real responsibility. 2.5 billion with B.
They saved like 4 million from going out. They had billed again for $4 million.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know, Renee, that's an interesting concept there, because when I ran for city council, I was starting there, and that's when I was, really big into politics before the paranormal stuff. And I was going to start with city council, hit mayor, and then see where that led. Maybe Senate or something. And that was actually part of my plan, was growing in that aspect. But once I saw how the city council was actually ran, and I saw how the Senate was actually ran, because I needed to talk to the senators and the congressmen. I talked to senators and congressmen. I've called the White House. I couldn't stomach it. It took my peace. I had to step away. It was crazy. So thank you, Renee, but no.
I'll tell you what, this chart blew my mind. 75. And another thing that's funny, what's funny? No. Well, here's the
Emerging
thing,
countries?
Cindy. If you're talking about Canada, remember you've got Saturn, Neptune, I think.
The
If
year
I
ain't over yet. Just saying.
wait a minute, I'm thinking about it. No, it doesn't. But Canada will change. Something's going to happen up there big time because you've got Saturn, Neptune maybe hitting the your rising. We need to do their I'm almost sure, Cindy. So that's a change. So that one state that wants to leave is going to leave and become its own little country, probably, or its own little state. The one that wants to leave. There's a state up there. Do you guys, Cindy? What do you guys call them? States?
Oh,
Yeah, they're going to leave.
up in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking about California.
It's a state. A state there's a state up there.
Province.
What's the difference between a province and a state? I don't know, but it's like a country. Like they have like different little countries, like big states.
So essentially, they want to secede from Canada, like Texas talked about.
Yeah. They want to leave. They're like, we're making all the money. Provinces. Okay, so that could be it, Cindy, because you've got Saturn, Neptune, and Neptune will take down all the boundaries. So if those people in that particular state are talking about leaving,
Alberta, okay,
province of Alberta. That's a pretty name, isn't it? Alberta. I like that Providence. I like the name of that Providence. Providence of Alberta sounds very classy.
Yeah, I think part of what is going to add to the change for Canada is our newly elected leader evening out the tariffs. I mean, we were paying 244% tariffs on things going to Canada. That Canada was. We
I didn't know. I didn't even know the word tariff.
It's nuts, and he's simply trying to even out the trade deficit because America's been getting screwed for decades, and it's working. He just brought in the latest numbers just came out.
70. I looked it up on this. 75 billion in tariffs since March.
And what they want to do is lower taxes because they're making money off of tariffs. So if they're making money off of tariffs, they don't have to tax as much. So they want to lower taxes for everybody, but they want to eliminate taxes for anybody making under $200,000 a year. That would help these lower income families tremendously.
Well, the bill that I did all this today because I was shocked at this chart. It's going to happen because the South Node is in the house of taxes in Virgo. Okay, in Virgo. Virgo's running that house, so it's going to be put in order. It's where all the energy is because Mars is in there, and it's a loss of taxes.
Well, we would be losing taxes because they wouldn't be charging so many taxes because they're making more money off tariffs.
I'll have to look because, see, Mercury would be tariffs. Mercury's in the 7th house, and that's opposing Pluto. I gotta really keep looking at it. It's guess where the North Node is?
Down the rabbit hole?
Yep, 2nd house of what we value and money. So that's the lesson. And the universe is saying, okay, Medicare scam with what? What did you read? How much money was scammed?
Let me pop back over there. 2.5 billion.
2.5 billion was scammed by doctors and nurses and medical professionals ripping off Medicare.
The people we trust.
The people we trust.
With their health care.
They're overbilling. They're doing this. They're doing that. So this is
And
the
then-
stuff that's got to stop.
And then we wonder why insurance companies
Are so high.
control what kind of care we get.
Kickbacks.
The insurance company says, okay, you can have that medication or you can't have that medication. You can have that procedure or you can't have that procedure.
That's right.
Not the doctors. The insurance company decides that.
But there was no oversight. Nobody was watching it. And I don't care when until Doge got in there and said, I can't believe this disaster. And now they're getting in there and they're working with the people with computers and they're getting them all modernized finally. And we're going to see, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
the tip.
well, you saw what happened. Social Security last month was the lowest payout on forever because they took all those people off the rolls.
The fraudulent ones, yeah.
The fraud,
Yeah,
the
the dead
fraud
people.
that's going on.
There were checks going out
Got
to
to be
people
careful.
there were checks going out to people that were 300 years old. That is physically impossible unless you're Noah.
Well, they were giving those numbers to people coming across the border.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
So that's. But I'm gonna finish
I
this
didn't
up.
feel it. I apologize.
I'm gonna. Here's the work numbers. Jupiter is in the 6th house in the solar return. That's the workforce. That's the everyday workers.
That's me.
We're gonna boom. It's gonna boom with Jupiter in there. It's crazy.
We've got so many factories coming back to the United States right now. We're talking, they're spending trillions.
I just looked
Building
that up.
factories.
$15 trillion worth of businesses, and GE said they're coming back yesterday.
Yeah.
I just
In
saw
the U.S. Do you know how many jobs that is going to provide?
Do you know the benefits and the money people make working for GE?
Lot.
Lots.
A
And
lot.
it's good product. You know, my dad worked at GE. So I grew up with all GE appliances as a
Yep.
kid. And our stuff lasted for 15 years. Forever. Then they moved it over to China and it was cheaper.
3 or
And
4 years.
It's junk.
3 or 4 years.
I refuse. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
It's junk.
And people are complaining right now about ICE detaining and deporting illegal aliens. They are not immigrants. They are illegal aliens. If you're an immigrant, come here legally. Great. Welcome. Let's get you a job.
Come here legally, period.
Yeah, come on.
It's that simple.
I got
I'm
a problem.
sorry. I don't.
But,
I guess I'm too old.
In Nebraska, they raided I think it was a meat packing facility, and they arrested about everybody there. Now they did use E-Verify. The company used E-Verify, but the people had fake documents
That's right.
stolen from American citizens.
That's right.
Okay? That's how they get around the E-Verify. And everybody's freaking out. Oh, what's this company going to do? The next day, that place was full of people filling out applications.
Sure it was. Well, and you got to remember too, I'll bet you a lot of them were under the age of 15 in there. A lot of slave labor. People don't realize that when they're going into these manufacturing companies, we are missing 350,000 children that came across the border.
And
they are being put into slave labor. They're getting these young kids in there.
They have found thousands of them already.
I know. I track it.
There's more. Oh, the hair standing up my arm. There's more coming out every day. More stories coming out every day.
They just rescued 60. They just rescued
200.
60 down in Florida, underage girls under the age of 14, and many were pregnant.
Yeah, sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, how you doing? Mr.
So I'll go into it more on Wednesday because it is fascinating stuff. fascinating stuff. When I saw this chart, I really had to start to look up because I thought this economy is cranking. So this is happening right now. We just don't. I don't know.
Give it a year.
There's
Give it
just
a
it's
fucking year.
change and it's chaos and it's what we're not used to. It's cranking.
Yeah. Give
It's
it a year.
cranking.
Give it a year, and the people are going to be amazed at what happens. Yeah, slave labor or worse with those littles. Yes, absolutely. It's sickening. It's sickening. And the left took out the DNA testing on the kids.
Biden-Harris took it
actually
out.
Belonged to the people they were with.
Dude, Biden-Harris took it out with an executive order. He didn't.
Yes.
He wouldn't. Trust me.
Hey there, man. Thanks for hopping on.
I've been screaming about this for since 2021.
Yes, I have too.
You know I have. I haven't shut up about it.
And they kept saying we were lying. No, it's proven. It is proven. There's physical proof that they did this. Why would they do this?
We had, how many pictures did I post of JLR down there taking pictures on both borders of people crashing through? And now there are zero coming through.
Zero people.
Zero.
From 10,000 to zero. And the 10,000, that could have been in a week, in a day. Now it's zero. Zero.
It was 10,000. Not vetted.
And
not
many
vetted.
Of them are bringing in fentanyl, methamphetamine,
disease.
Where do you think the measles came from?
And the TB.
Over the border.
Yeah.
I don't, right in.
There's no argument with me because I've covered too many of the stories with Rachel Moran. It was once a week I was covering a story about a young girl that was unalived.
Yeah, by an illegal.
Yes. And I didn't care. I brought it out. I brought the story. Somebody had to.
They need to be told. Their stories need to be told.
I did tell you. Know I did.
I know. I watched. I shared.
Ugh. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started.
And if they do arrest them, they let them out on bail or whatever it is they do, and then the people take off, and they're never seen or heard from again.
Well, 2,711.
Hey, what are you doing?
Okay, here we go. 2,711 TDA gang members have been arrested.
How many?
All with criminal records. 2,711.
2,711.
Just TDA. Tren de Aragua.
One gang.
Tren de Aragua. That's not MS-13. This is Tren de Aragua.
Right. That's one gang. 2,711. Hey, Jan, how you doing?
So
you ain't late.
I'll finish. I'll have slides and stuff for Wednesday because this is real. I was shocked at this. It's going to be a little bit. I'm going to tell you what.
It's going to be a little bumpy.
It's going to be very bumpy because Uranus and Mars. Well, maybe not. No, it's too wide. I was going to say it looks like military. Something's going to happen with the military, but I have to keep looking. But it's all good.
Military is helping with the border and helping ICE.
Yeah, I guess that could be it. Well, yeah. I got to keep looking at it.
And it's kind of funny how all of a sudden, once the government started looking into who was actually funding the riots, they just stopped. When the government started looking for who is funding these people that are rioting and looting, they stopped. Like those people don't want to get caught or something.
Well, I wouldn't want to be associated with that. If it's grassroots or something, I'm all for it. But if it's fake, I don't want to put any part of it. Another thing,
It's
U.S. is in its Jupiter return. You know how, like, you've heard of a Saturn return, where every planet returns back to its natal position, and it's a cycle, right? So we are on a 12-year cycle. So we are in our Jupiter return in the U.S. as well, in
okay.
the 8th house. That's trade
Yeah.
and tariffs
Yeah. And on a
and
personal,
taxes.
yeah, all of it, and all of it's changing. And on a personal level, think about where you were 12 years ago, what you were going through, where you
Let's
were,
see,
how much you
what year
made,
was that?
etc. What kind of personal issues were you going through?
2013.
Where are you now as opposed to 12 years ago? Because you're starting a new 12-year cycle.
Yep.
12
Yeah.
years ago, I was still married and things were starting to get a little bumpy. The bump started and then the potholes got deeper and deeper and deeper. Well, now I'm single. I'm not in a relationship.
Well, that was
So
Jupiter in your
I'm
4th
starting a
house.
new cycle in a completely different aspect.
Yeah. Same sign, but different cycle.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be in the same house. It's still the 4th house, but it's going to have different stuff going on.
I was going to find my list of the houses and everything before the show, and do you think I did it? No.
It's crazy. But I'm going to do that.
Hey,
I'll have
Melissa.
it Wednesday night. I think
you
it'll
doing?
be kind of a fun show, don't you think, for 4th of July?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I will be on it. I will be watching.
But yes, Cindy and Denise, Canada's got some stuff too, but Canada has a Cancer sun, and Jupiter is
Nice.
in there this year.
Wage increase right there. There's proof. There's a wage increase right there.
Well, yeah, 60-year high
Mm-hmm.
on wages in the U.S. 60-year high. I just looked it up because I was like, what's going on with this economy? It's roaring.
So wages are up, inflation is down from 9 something to 2.4.
2.4, and 2 years ago it was what, 9? It was 9.1.
Yeah,
9.1.
2012, I was living paycheck to paycheck, living off my credit cards.
I can't remember what
That's
I was
what I
even doing in 2013. I don't even remember last week. I swear.
I do. I have those days.
I have those lives.
With what I went through personally with my paranormal issues, when they were taken care of, I lost a lot of memories. I lost 3/4 of my life, and I've had to go back through from my childhood up to now, pick and pull, and try to remember things and try to figure out why things happen. Hey, Della, how you doing? And it has been a struggle, but a lot of times when I either help myself in a big way, or I help someone else in a big way, within the next few days, I get a flood of memories back. It's like spirit. Here you go. Here you go. Here's your next chapter to work through. And then I get to go through those memories because some of them aren't always good, but I can pick them apart. I can learn from them. Notice I said I get to, and I can. I don't have to, but I do. So I can learn more about myself, my past self, and why I no longer want to be my past self. So even if you get a bad memory back, or one of the retrogrades brings something up that you need to look at, even if it's ugly looking to you, it's going to be beneficial to work through it so you can help yourself. Because if you work through it, you can release it, and that makes more room in your good old heart here for better things to come in. Hey, Lisa.
It's great. What's funny is the magic triangle in America's natal chart is 7th house, which is partnerships. It could be diplomacy, it could be open enemies, the media, and the 5th house, which is the house of children.
And what are they finding? Children.
I know. I knew that.
And
I told Michelle that.
the media really isn't reporting on that.
Mm-mm.
It is the what do I want to call them?
DHS and HHS are reporting about
But
it.
people like Dan Bongino, those kind of people are reporting it, not the mainstream media. Not the mainstream media. And that's who should be reporting it. But they're not because they're part of it and they want to cover it up. In my opinion,
nobody listens.
By the way, this show is for educational purposes only.
Right.
And everything is in our opinion, dear Facebook. And I am not a doctor. I am not a psychiatrist, but I have been through a whole lot of shit. So if you decide to take my advice on anything, that's up to your own risk. Just say it.
Well,
okay.
That would be media, short trips, neighborhoods.
Exactly, Lisa. Facebook, Instagram, Rumble. That's where you see it. Not on the mainstream media.
No.
You see it here.
And Facebook is like about 3 or 4 days behind.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get it like live, you got to get on X.
Yeah.
X is like immediate.
Yep. And there, the information that we're getting, there's so much more going on behind the scenes. Everybody wants arrests right now. Well, we can't do that because you have to have time to build a case. In order to build a case, you have to find evidence. It takes time to find evidence, to find witnesses that will corroborate. And that takes time. It is happening. So when it's time, there's going to be a whole lot of arrests made.
Well, you got to have a grand jury.
Yeah.
You got to have indictments.
And when that happens, the word from, hang on. Let me Google something real quick.
That's coming.
$17th.
Let's look on the.
Are you serious? All right, fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14, 15. Yeah, 17. The 17th letter of the alphabet. I'm not going to say it because I'll get the show flagged, but I can type it.
Oh, crap. Well, I'm not going to count that on my fingers.
17th letter of the alphabet. They are a host of individuals who have been putting out information for quite some time. And
I don't know anything about them, but it's interesting.
I do, and that's what I was trying to say. Is they are saying that when the arrests are made, we could possibly lose internet, cable TV, phones for 10 days. It could go dark. We could lose electricity for 10 days. They have to have a time frame in order to get these people to where they cannot communicate with each other. So, like we've been saying, stock up on food a little bit, get some water. You'll be fine. Get a little extra gas in the gas cans. You'll be fine. But I don't know if
not in this.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
No.
But it's possible that it could happen. So just be prepared. If you get a little extra food, it doesn't happen. Cool. You got extra food. You don't have to buy groceries, till next month.
I don't see. I think the biggest thing that's going to happen between just looking at the solar return is the financial system.
Mm-hmm.
Gone. We're going to be on a new, and because it's Uranus going into Gemini, it's going to be a digital. We're going to be completely digital.
Yeah.
That's good because then maybe we won't be able to get scammed.
You know,
I
got scammed out of 100. Well, I didn't. It wasn't exactly scam. Somebody was monitoring my internet, got through my firewall. I didn't know it. I was doing some online trading, and the next thing you know, $106,000 is gone out of my bank account in 30 seconds. The FBI got him. They found him. I may get something back. I don't know, and I don't really know a time frame exactly, but they said if you get anything back, it will be 3 to 5 years. So I completely know what it feels like to get scammed.
Well, you know what? This is it. Here's a scam that happened today. Be very careful with Neptune going into retrograde too, because that's when scammers will come out. And it's going in retrograde right now. I ordered Bath and Body Works candles, right?
Uh-huh.
I got a notice that UPS was going to deliver it. Well, I got a text on my phone that said, we tried to deliver, but we couldn't get there. And I thought, well, that's stupid because the email that I got from them said they hadn't even picked it up yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, who sent this to me? And I got a really weird, like, text thing. And I'm like, this isn't right. And then it said, when can you be home? And I'm like, okay. So I put down, we'll deliver it between 3 and 6 on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then you clicked it again. And it said, we charge $1.20 redelivery charge. Put your Visa and your.
Oh, no.
Right. But
That's
it was a UPS stationary. It looked like a UPS site. I'm like, I said, you're scammers. Get the hell away from me.
Yeah.
I did. I said, I'm turning your ass in but that's how good they've gotten. And it was a UPS logos and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Renee, so if the financial system...
we're in a dual system. No.
So...
No, it's dual.
Hang on. Let me read it. So if the financial system crashes, it's going to take time for a new one to be rebuilt. Not wrong. And operated and everyone's money to be transferred over. So having a little extra wouldn't be a bad idea. Not wrong. Have a little cash.
Here's what the thing,
wrong.
Renee. No, it's not going to, because it's going into Gemini, which is 2. So there's one behind it. You're not going to even know it because there's 2 dueling systems with Gemini. Because Uranus is moving into Gemini, so it's 2. So no, I wouldn't even worry about it. I'm telling you, this chart is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But there's chaos, don't get me wrong, because you got to remember, these are not nice people.
Right.
You know, look at these people that got caught today. How much did you say, Keith? Like billions. Medicare fraud, billions.
2.5 billion.
That was just one group of 300 people.
Mm-hmm.
300 people scammed Medicare for $3.5 billion. And that's our money. Doctors, nurses, caregivers.
The people
pharmacies.
Who we trust.
People we trust. That's one group.
So imagine the people that we don't trust.
I'm telling you.
Just for clarification,
man,
they said that the people that got my money, they confiscated. How much did they confiscate? Hang on, give me a second. 2.5 million from these people. That's how many people that they took money from. And they're still looking for victims and more assets to claim to try to compensate us back in a better way. So I understand it takes time, but I could sure use that to finish my home, to help with my health issues that I'm having that I can't afford to get done right now because my money went snap.
But isn't that great that you're getting it back?
Well, I don't know how much I'm getting back. They said
you'll get it. You'll get
it. They said it will be a percentage. We can't tell you what the percentage is right now because we don't have a total count on all the victims. So it could be 10%, it could be 20, it could be 100. I would love 100,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a percentage of what I lost.
That's wonderful that they got him. I'm glad they got him. I can't stand scammers, but be mindful of that with Neptune in retrograde.
Pew pews, beans, and band-aids. I like it. 3 B's.
Yeah. Well, just be mindful of that. Neptune in retrograde. Watch scamming, because I thought, well, I'm not, just
Yeah, Jan, they had a group of Romanians get caught in New Mexico this past week for scamming and using the readers to get the credit card info, and they're tracking the others down. Skimmers. You pull up to a gas pump,
Yep.
and there's something so small and thin, they slide it into where you put your card, and it's Wi-Fi. So they hack the Wi-Fi, and when you put your card in, it skims the information off your card.
You don't tap it.
The number, you can't tap on a gas pump here.
You can't. You don't have the little bar things.
No, okay, in Wymore, in Beatrice, the gas pumps, you cannot tap. You have to physically insert your card. Now, if you go in, you can tap, but not at every place. But it's called skimmer. It gets the number, the expiration date, your name, and the 3-digit code off the back. And boom, you are fucked.
That's
so
terrible.
You need to be careful about where you use your card and how you use it. If you can tap it, like she said. Tap it.
You know what?
Tap it, baby, tap it.
July 4th, Neptune in retrograde. The first 2 weeks of Neptune, first 2 weeks.
Yes. Yes.
Of retrograde, don't put that card in the machine, Keith.
Yep.
Tap it. Go inside and tap it for at least the first 2 weeks of Neptune.
I'll tap it.
Oh, stop, pervert. because
that's safest, Denise.
Because Neptune is going into retrograde. So, and remember, you guys, in July, this is the last big month that we have of shifting. July is going to be like June, but this is the last one to navigate.
Yeah.
And the only big transit we've got in July is July 25th. The sun opposes Pluto, which that's going to be sun opposing Pluto is going to be the sun illuminates everything. It's going to be showing us some more scandals like Diddy.
Here it is. Deal with it.
Like Diddy, Diddler, and yeah, it's the ugly scandals and
well, it's a good thing in my mind that information is coming out into light, because these people hopefully are getting prosecuted for their crimes, and there are going to be, in my opinion, a lot more congressmen, senators, etc., getting busted for what they've done. They're looking at AOC. They're looking at pressing charges against AOC because she allegedly hired an illegal for her to work on her campaign. Hired her, paid her. Okay, that's illegal.
It's the government.
That's illegal. She broke the law.
How?
So they're looking into it.
How? But if it's government, you got to go through a big like the applications are like 20 pages long. You got to give your license. You got to give. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they set their own rules.
Yes, they do. So that's how I said allegedly they are looking into it. But if they get proof, with any luck, they will prosecute.
He left. He bailed.
But hang on. But right now, the way it's looking, they can't arrest everybody in the Congress and Senate who have had who have broken the law, because if they did, there wouldn't be enough people to run the government. Okay, I'm not kidding.
The place would be empty.
So some deals are more than likely being made behind the scenes to get information, to get the worst ones. Okay, so we need to accept that, because we have to run the country. So if they make some deals with some people, I don't care if it's a Democrat, I don't care if it's a Republican, I don't care if it's the
I don't
Green
care.
Party, I don't give a.
I
Okay.
don't care.
If we get the major players out and we can rebuild our government in a better, more prosperous way, which will help us rebuild in a better, more prosperous way, I'm all for it.
Dude, let me tell you, from this solar chart, and solar chart sets the tone for the entire year. But I'm going to tell you what, change is inevitable. And this change is,
Might.
holy cow. I've never, like I said, there's 6 planets on this magic triangle. First, third, and fourth, fifth house. It's crazy.
Tyler Perry. All right. They're going to hit a lot of movie stars. Hollywood's going to get
Well, I think some of those people are giving. I'm going to give you what I think is going to be Diddler. They went into Diddler's, the jury's in deliberation. I think Diddy's going to walk. I stayed with it.
I don't see how.
I do. I'm telling you, if you're on the jury, you would have said, you know what you would have said? We can all agree he's a monster. The guy is sick. He's got issues, bad issues. But when you're charged with racketeering and you're charged with T and you're charged with P, if anything, he might get the drug charges and some other things. But there's no RICO. He didn't have an enterprise where he was profiting like the mob was. It's not there. He's just weird. Just heads, it's. I get it. He's not a nice person.
No.
Not at all.
No.
But you know what? And not a single female was teed. Like if you're driving in traffic, it was males.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, it was males. It wasn't women. It was men.
Yeah, I watched an interview of one of the victims.
Punisher.
That
the Punisher.
He was paid to have sex with Diddy's girlfriend.
Yeah, Cassie or
while they watched. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is illegal. Prostitution.
That's about it. It's like the defense attorney said, he's a swinger. They do weird things. I really think he is. I think he is. If I were on the jury, I would say, I would have a tough time with it because he's such a pig. But
yeah, well,
people charge him for that. This is like Young Thug. Where's the racketeering?
And now, if he does get off, he's going to know how not to get caught now.
I think he's ruined. I think he's ruined.
How you doing?
I think he's ruined. I don't think people will want to be around him because
I don't think so either.
Get away from me with the baby oil. Ooh.
Yeah, and the lists that everybody's waiting for.
There are no lists.
Epstein. That's because they got destroyed.
Didn't you see this week that broke? The Daily Mail got the calendar.
They got deleted.
No, the Daily Mail got a hold of the calendar, and it showed where a lot of people were in New Mexico on their calendar all the time.
Really?
Yes, HC was always there.
Interesting.
She was always on his calendar in New Mexico. Yeah, it was a big Daily Mail piece this week.
I missed that one. I missed that.
You can't keep up with it all.
It's happening so fast. So fast.
It's all happening so fast. And he was always meeting with Obama's lawyers.
Did he was?
No, Epstein.
Oh yeah. That's an interesting fact in itself.
Yeah. So that's another story that just popped. So there's a lot. This month is our last month. The only kind of tricky thing is July 25th. That's it. The rest of it's just the shifting. And hell, that's easy. We can get through that.
Yeah, it might be a little bumpy, but we'll get through it. I know my life's been bumpy here this past week.
It's going to be bumpy through July. Let the retrogrades kick in, and it'll start to calm down. It'll start to slow down.
Well, see, I got a bonus to deal with that the retrogrades hopefully help me with.
That's right.
So I'm looking forward to them so that I can work through this quickly. But before we get off of here, I want to bring up something called a soul shard.
A what?
Soul shard. Like if you crack a crystal or a piece of glass, you get a shard of glass. This is a soul shard. It is a shard of your soul. And what happens is if you go through an extreme traumatic event very quickly, your soul says, nope, I'm out. And a shard of it takes off. And you can bring them back.
What?
Yes, ma'am. 100%. The first time I did this was a few years ago. I did a incantation on Halloween night to bring my shards back. I got one. I woke up the next morning thinking I was in the wrong house. Didn't recognize my house. Couldn't find my wife. Couldn't find my little kids. I walked outside. I knew it was Wymore, but I didn't. It took me 3 days to work through that to understand that I'd been divorced for quite a while and my kids were grown. When that shard entered back into my soul, it took me right back to that time when it exited, because that's where that shard still was. It hadn't gone through everything.
How do they leave?
And through. It's fight or flight. Fight or flight. Your lizard brain, the fight or flight. Okay. Well, Saturday night, out of the blue, I got another one. So I got jumped right back to when I was still married to Shannon and we were having issues.
Yeah.
She left. And everything is different now. Everything.
What?
How I feel about everything is different because it jumped me back to that time. So I essentially became who I was then. But this time I've been through it. I recognized it. Okay, I know what's going on. Let's work through this.
That's like the car in Back to the Future. You jump in the car and you're like,
kind of. It kind of is, because I got jumped back years. So that part of my soul has not gone through the healing of my divorce. It has not gone through my last relationship. It's inside me going, dude, what the was that? That was a 9-month lesson. We survived. We're good. We learned from it. I'll fill you in later. It's a very interesting process. So if I seem different to people, it's because I am, and that's okay. I'm going to work through this. And
you're sharding.
Fine. I'm sharding. Yes. Yeah, Denise. Soul fragmentation. It is a thing. I've still got one out there. I know I do. I know when it left. So
don't shard too much.
I'm not sitting here going through a dark night of the soul. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Yeah. I can work through this. I can coach this part of my soul that hasn't been through what I have been. It has not been through my healing. It has not been through anything else. It didn't go through my house fire. It's going, what the is up with the house? I'm like, dude, it burned down. I rebuilt it.
Yeah. Just say, pick up. You're going to have to
We're
get
good.
to work.
We're good. Yeah, grab a hammer. Let's go.
Get a hammer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get a hammer. We're going to start working on the house. You gotta pay for your keep.
This is the second time this has come up since yesterday. Soul shards? Is that what you meant? Not wrong, Jason. Not wrong. But it's okay. We're learning.
We got another month of it, you guys. That's it. We're done. We got one more month. That's it.
I know, girl. I know. And if it returns, we will work through it together. Okay? I got you. I got you.
One more month. And it's a lot of this is the shifting that we're going through. It's a thing. A lot.
Melissa, it's a thing. Is that going on with you? If it is, I can help you through it. Okay?
Yeah. You're shifting. And a lot of that's Neptune going into retrograde too. Remember, Neptune would be the planet that controls all that because Neptune is the spirituality. Or it could be a north node being triggered or a south node being triggered. So if you look on your chart, you would be able to tell when this stuff is going to trigger.
North node.
South node.
South node.
If they were triggered.
South node is what you came into this lifetime that you're good at. Being a mechanical things, mathematics.
Past lives.
Past lives. Right. North node is your sole purpose, what you came here to do in this lifetime.
Correct.
Mine is it took me a long time to figure it out. Mine is healing and teaching.
Well, it could have been triggered by Neptune. It could have been triggered Neptune or the moon. And you gotta remember this. Think about it. That new moon that we had in June, just a couple weeks ago, was all Cancer. Sun, moon in Cancer.
Yep.
And Jupiter was in Cancer. And that is highly spiritual and intuitive right there.
And
so that's when that stuff happens.
I set some certain intentions on that new moon. And guess what?
Yep.
Here.
Is that when it triggered? That could be.
I got a soul charge shoved up my.
Well, that would have been Uranus.
Thank you. That's where it got shoved up. Just saying. Just think. Out there.
Right there. That's Uranus at 29.
Right up through all the chakras.
I'm telling you, if that stuff happens, you can look on your natal chart and I guarantee, or just call me and say, look at my chart real quick and I'll find it.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Life feels like, okay, be thankful it's going in slow motion.
Retrogrades.
Be thankful. Because if all of this that's hitting was going in normal speed or fast forward, we would go crazy. So slow motion is a good thing. I know we want to get to where we want to be. I know slow is tough sometimes. I know patience is tough, but be thankful for the slow. Trust me.
And just remember, Melissa, you are hitting one right now of three more. Wait, we have Neptune's station now. Is it retrograde on July 4th? Then we have Mercury July 17th. We have July 12th is Saturn, and Neptune is July the 4th, and Pluto is in retrograde. So it's going to literally feel like you are slowing down. So enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enjoy it.
When things slow down, sometimes people start feeling down. They get bored. They get depressed. That is because you are used to the chaos in life. That is your normal. So when you have a lack of chaos, you think you're bored or depressed. But is that actually peace? Are you not used to peace?
Right.
There's a difference between boredom and peace.
Right.
So really look at things and figure out which one it is. Am I just bored, or is this peace and I'm learning what peace is? sitting there on the couch, looking outside at the tree blowing in the wind.
Yeah,
That's peace.
that is.
But it can feel like boredom too because you're not up doing anything. Sitting outside on your front porch, sitting out back on your patio, driving to the lake and just sitting there listening to the breeze blowing through the trees.
But see, the only thing about July is all these things are going to be going backward, and we've got Uranus going forward, and it's going to hit Gemini July 7th. So it's going to be a lot of like, wait, is my foot on the gas or am I on the brake? But it's temporary. So just know that it's normal. You're okay. It's okay.
So what you're saying is Gemini is going to get a foot in the face.
Gemini is going to get rammed.
I'm good with that. Sorry,
Bend over, Gemini. Here it comes. And Venus just went into Gemini. We'll be going into Gemini.
And it's
crazy.
Gemini. I joke a lot about Gemini. I have my reasons.
Yeah.
But
I told him to run. I go, no, a Scorpio and a Gemini are not going to get along.
That's what I'm saying, Melissa. I know my friend Melissa is a Gemini. And so I'm saying I give Geminis a lot of crap, but I do know some very good Geminis.
I know.
So. Melissa is an awesome person. I've known her since high school. In fact, I'm going to tell it again, Melissa. This young lady right here, Melissa Curia. In high school, we met here in Wymore. And how we met was me and a buddy of mine were out road tripping, drinking beer, road tripping. We know that's not the safest thing to do. Just saying. We had to pee. Nothing was open. So we drive around, we find this dark road and there's this fence. I'm like, okay, hey, we'll pee on the fence.
Right.
It was Melissa's fence. And she was up looking out the window. And we've been good friends ever since.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. You're lucky she was a Gemini because she can laugh about that stuff. Yeah, that's Gemini. Gemini, look, I know. It'll be fine, you guys. It's just
you got this.
This is our last shift.
You're fighting internally, aren't you? About the things going on in your life, things going on in your mind.
Yep.
The information coming in. There's probably a little war inside of you.
A little one?
Yeah, we do get along, Melissa. We do get along.
Just know that July is it. July is it.
And
should be.
And people have been talking about time speeding up. I'm going to agree with the fact that it seems like time is speeding up. We still have 24 hours in a day. Still have 7 days a week. But yesterday it was New Year's Day. And today it's almost July.
July. That's
the week seems like it takes forever to get through.
Yep.
But then it's next month already.
Yep.
It's really weird. And
it's
gravity in space can bend time. A clock on a satellite, they have to adjust because time goes at a different speed, literally, than it does here on Earth. So they have to keep changing the clock on that GPS satellite to keep it up to where we are. So if there is another giant planet getting closer to Earth, that can bend space-time due to the gravity. Now, scientists and astrologers, guess what they found? A giant planet.
No more planets.
Well, we got another one.
I don't want any more. I can't. They don't fit in the program.
It's been called Planet X. It's been called Planet 9, and it's also been called Nibiru on the map.
No
Yes.
more planets.
Yes.
No.
Science has
No.
proved there is something out there,
Well,
and it's getting closer.
they tried to get rid of Pluto so that we wouldn't look at it. They thought, oh, those astrologers will get rid of Pluto. We're not going to make it relevant. And nobody listened to them. So that was their first mistake. How long the storm will last? December?
It's a difficult question to answer because it depends on if the members of our government that are fighting for us and our country, if they are allowed to do what they want to do, or if they keep getting fought on everything they're trying to do. It also depends on your own personal birth chart,
Right,
the retrogrades, how it's going to hit that, what house, etc.,
right,
and how well you work through the issues that come up in your life.
right. Yeah,
Dark night of the soul is not a laughing matter.
no,
Basically. It is depression beyond belief. And you will come out of that questioning everything, including your own existence. Why am I on this plane? Why am I here? And that, my friend, is when you answer yourself. And that's when you find your soul purpose. And that is
Yep.
when your life begins to change. So be patient with yourself.
be patient. And
Be
you know, if you're a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, you've got Jupiter hitting you.
Hey,
So
Peggy.
that's perfect.
Yeah, Halloween is in October and the veil gets thin, just saying.
Well, we are going to be riding on a huge eclipse on September 23rd. So
23. 23. Can't make it up. There's
I know.
23 again.
I mean, this has been a big year. This is a huge year,
Hey,
but
Ray, you do it.
you know, everything is good. I mean, it's a little bit bumpy, but
It is.
it's a tad bumpy.
Dude,
We've been through worse.
this is washboard ruts. You know what washboard ruts are?
Yeah. Look, we made it through 2020. We can make it through anything.
And then 21, it's going to be our year. And then 22, it's going to be our year. 23 is going to be our year. 24, yeah. 25, yay.
Oh my
We made it. This is going to be
God.
our year. Look at all the
Look at this Pluto return,
up there. But it's good.
dude. It's all good.
Good.
It's
good.
going to work out fine. Remember, people stood in line to come down here at this time because it was so exciting.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
But sometimes that one thing will lead to another thing. So make yourself a note. Okay, this is next.
Give yourself
Journal.
some grace, especially in July. Give yourself grace because
And if you have a day
yeah,
that you wake up and you can't get yourself out of bed, guess what? It's a day you get to rest.
that's right.
Don't beat yourself up. You needed to rest. You're going to allow yourself to rest. Think it differently. Think it differently.
And remember, laughter raises your vibrational energy quicker and higher than anything. Laughter.
If you can't force yourself to get up and go take a shower, wash your face.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. If you can't do the entire laundry that you had to do, pick up a basket and take it and set it on the washing machine. You started a process. Okay. If you have a ton of dishes you need to do and you just can't because of how you feel, organize them, stack all your plates, put all your silverware together, get them ready to do. Okay.
Yeah.
That way, tomorrow when you wake up, hey, those are already. Maybe I'll just do those quick.
I just don't do it. I'm like you right now. I thought June, July, if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not doing it. You don't, I'm just not pushing it. And I mean, you got to laugh because you have to.
Mudding in the Volkswagen, not wrong.
That's the truth.
Safe travels, Peggy. Safe travels.
Oh, that'll be beautiful. You know what? You're getting out. You know what, Peggy? That October's good because we're getting everything should be okay by then. You're out of
hoping and praying.
eclipse, but I haven't looked at October.
Range comment here. Live with gratitude, simplified to understand the gifts all around you. Absolutely.
That's right.
Be thankful.
Every day, every morning when I get up, every day.
Do not take the little things for granted. Do not take the little things for granted.
Or the big things.
I am grateful that I have this chair to sit in.
That's right.
Because at one time I did not. I am grateful that I have this floor to set this chair on.
That's right.
Because at one time I did not.
That's right.
At one time I had the shirt on my back and that was it.
That's right. I'm grateful that we're not wearing those stupid masks.
Yes. 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 But the little things that we take for granted every day. You get up, you go to the sink, you turn the faucet on, you get yourself a glass of water.
Yeah.
Don't think about it. Be grateful for that. Our ancestors had to go out to the well or to the river, carry the water back.
They still do here. I mean, they still do in Kentucky. They still have wells.
Keeping the vibration high. Yeah. But sometimes that's difficult.
That's right.
And that's okay. Especially right now where everybody's fighting each other on all the political BS. Okay. You see the arguments all the time online. Don't engage.
No,
Keep
I
strong.
don't. It's why? It's silly. It's silly.
Yeah. Grateful that I can taste, smell, hear, see, feel. Yes. Every morning when I get up, I tell everybody good morning. And people are going to be confused about that because I live by myself.
Who do you tell good morning? The cat and the dog?
Well, yeah, but my protectors, my angels, my spirit guides, my spirit animals. Like, good morning, everybody. That's why I say good morning, everybody. And then as soon as the sun comes up, I look at the sun and say, good morning, sunshine. Thank you, spirit, for another mother day. And I say it just like that because I'm thankful I got up. I'm thankful I opened my eyes. Am I going to have to go through a day of work? Yes, I am. But I'm grateful that I have that opportunity. It's either going to be a good day or a not so good day. I try not to say bad day. Every day can be a good day. It's just some days are better than others. And I am slowly becoming the person I was supposed to be instead of the person that I became. And I'm proud of that fact. Do I want to go to work tomorrow? No, I don't. But I'm gonna. I get to. So I'm gonna make the best of it. Yeah, everything works out. Yeah. And yes, Melissa, my friends are around. Even if we don't talk all the time. And that's okay. You and I can go for a year without talking, and we get together, and it's just like no time has passed. I have a lot of people like that. But I also have people that you're not talking to me. What'd I do? Nothing. I'm a Scorpio. And they don't understand that. And that's their issue.
We are going to take a look at
Sorry.
the potential swing
You're
state.
fine.
I just tipped my phone. Sorry. I was listening.
You're right, Peggy. There are still people that are wearing the masks. Okay. I see people driving down the highway with their windows up in the car alone wearing one.
No, you
For some
don't.
people, it has become like a safety blanket. They were brainwashed so hard that is their safety blanket. You take that away from them, they're going to freak out.
Gosh, I have not seen anybody wear one in years.
Well, I saw one in Walmart the last time I was in Walmart.
I haven't seen them in years. I have not. But everybody just relax, get through the month. It's going to shift. It's going to slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up. That's all right. It'll be fine. It's just energy.
Yeah, space.
You're in charge of it. Remember that. You're in charge of it.
We're in charge of every decision we
That's
make.
right. You're in charge of it. So
They say we are created in our creators plural image.
So, well,
We
I'm going to
create.
get off here, my dear. It's not almost 9:30.
Okie dokie. It is
So
almost.
join me if you guys want to see more of the solar return Wednesday night at 8, right here, back on the Rift. It'll be it's going to be interesting. So have a great week, you guys. Enjoy the 4th, everybody, and I'll see everybody Wednesday.
Absolutely. We'll see you,
Have
girl.
a great week,
I'll
hon.
be on the show.
Thanks, everybody. Night.
Night. It's crazy. Everything crazy right now. But when you've been crazy, it kind of helps. Just saying. It's kind of normal. It does that. It does that. Shit can come out of nowhere. Surprise! Here. You're strong enough to deal with this. That is why we get handed things out of the blue. Guess what? You're strong enough to handle this today. That is spirit having confidence in us. Be proud of yourself. The reason I say that, think about the fact that everything that you have gone through in your life, you made it through to today. For that, I'm proud of you. There may be more stuff to handle tomorrow. That's okay. That's okay. I'll figure it out. I always do. That is my favorite saying that I tell myself when something happens. I'll figure it out. I always do. And I do. It may take a little longer than I expect, but I always figure it out. Thank you, Denise. You're welcome. Thank you for popping on. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen it a lot more in the bigger cities. I have. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate that. Night, Melissa. You have a good night, too. Good night, everybody. Rain says, thanks, Ed, for the invite. Thank you for popping on. Appreciate it. Oh, before I hop off, I'll give it like a minute. Does anybody have any questions? I don't like leaving people hanging. Not like that, Melissa. I know your mind. Excuse me. We just need to take things day by day, one thing at a time. Be patient. Accept change, even though we don't like change. I know. I'm sitting in change. And I don't think I'm getting anything done to my home because it goes so slow. But my sister Christy stopped the other night and walked in, and she was amazed at how much I'd gotten done. So I'm sitting here going through it day by day, doing a little at a time, a little at a time. It doesn't feel like I'm getting anything accomplished, but to her, I've accomplished so much. And when I really sit down and look at it, she's right. And I needed that. Everything happens for a reason. We can arrange that. We can arrange that. And for you dirty-minded people out there, that's my Reiki chair, my healing chair. Okay. I learned about it because I went through it. I didn't understand what happened to me. And the people that came here to help me with my paranormal issues did something called aftercare with me. They taught me about the metaphysics and paranormal, and I'm actually now a member of their team also, not just Discover Paranormal. And he knew exactly what happened, and he said, look into this. So I just started looking into it, started studying it, and sure as shit, that's what it was. And what it is if you go through a traumatic event, especially a very, very traumatic, very quick traumatic event, car accident, something like that, whatever, house fire, a piece of your soul can take off, fight or flight. It's gone. I'm out. And then later, when you're ready to reaccept that, it slips back in, and part of you gets jumped back to that time period, but that part of that soul shard hasn't gone through what you've went through since it left. Any healing, any growth, any degradation, anything. So it's just like, what the is going on? So you got to talk to it. You got to train it. You got to teach it. Yeah, we had a house fire. We had to rebuild the whole house. It's okay. We got this. Grab a hammer. I'll show you. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Yeah. I got to make these bigger so I can read them. Scatterbrained is a good term for tonight. These sons Gemini too. So we got a lot of Geminis. Welcome. And yeah, like I said, I give you a lot of shit, but there's some good people out there. Just saying. So when is Drunken Oracle? Okay, everybody, if you don't know what Drunken Oracle is, that is a show that me and my sister Christy used to do, where we would drink and read your cards very, very badly. And it was hilarious. We started it when the lockdown started to put a smile on people's face and help them through life. And it worked really good. We got a big following, and then Christy had to stop for professional reasons, which is great. But I have a new partner. I don't know if she's still on, Jan. We are getting things ready to rock and roll. And I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So keep an eye on that. Hang on, I'll put a link here. So if you want, go to that Facebook page, give it a like. We'll get the YouTube page back up too, so I'll be sharing that. And it's a fun time. It is a fun time. Oh, I definitely had some Gemini issues. 9 months worth. Yes. Used to. Now it's me and Jan. You still on here, Jan? It's really a good time. We just come up, we pull a card, and we come up with the stupidest stuff that we can think of, from the pictures and the colors and whatnot. But yet somehow Spirit still speaks through us, because a lot of our readings hit home. We used to get all kinds of messages. How the did you know that? Know what? Because we don't remember. A, we're drinking, and B, when I'm channeling and reading cards, as soon as that reading's over, it's gone. It's gone. So I can go on to the next one. Oh, I don't know if I'm up for pulling a card tonight. But I guess I could give you a demonstration of what it's like. What the hell? Before I pop off here, and I'm going to have to do that because I'm going to have to recycle here real soon. Let me see. Let's use the Crow Tarot, shall we? See if I can get my fingers to shuffle. Oh. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Wait. I gotta get in character mode. Hey, how you doing? I'm Crazy Curious. and this is drunken oracle. Just saying. So oh, I'm good. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, Melissa. Jane's got bourbon. I don't have bourbon. It's usually Budweiser and tequila. Melissa wants 14th card. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Comes 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, girl, you got the Page of Wands. Now this is interesting because you see that crow? That's you. You're the crow. You're the crow, and it everything's backwards, so it's hot out, and you are screaming to everybody right there because it's so damn hot, and it's so hot you can't stand on the ground, so you're standing on a damn stick. I was pointing at the screen, but it sticks right there. That's somebody's stick. I don't know whose stick it is, but you're standing on somebody's stick, and when you stand on somebody's stick, it hurts. So don't stand on somebody's stick. There you go. That's kind of what Drunken Oracle is. Just saying. Well, I only weigh 115 pounds, so it don't take much. Just saying. Yeah, it is. You if you're doing reading for somebody, as soon as you get through that reading, you're on to the next one. It's like, okay, we don't need that anymore. Here, this is what you need to say now. Okay, next one. Next one. Next one. Well, see, on Drunken Oracle, we do that. We do. It's no holds barred, 18 and over show. And here on the R.I.F.T Nation Network, we got to kind of be a little more careful. But Drunken Oracle, that's no holds barred. And that's the point of it, is to make people giggle and laugh. Let's ask. Oh, wait. She's walking the tightrope with all the heat. Ta-da! Just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'm going to get off of here. I got some things I got to take care of yet tonight. So I see people out there wanting more cards. I said I was going to give one example. I gave an example. So again, I put the Drunken Oracle page link in again. So if you want a crazy reading like that, you're going to have to go like the Drunken Oracle page and be patient. And like I said, I'll share the YouTube page. That way you can get the notifications and know when we go on live. And if you would, please do that with the Otter's Den on YouTube. We are on YouTube, Rumble, different stuff. Hit that like button so you get the notification when I go on. And a lot of people's worlds are going backwards, Melissa. And if you ever need to talk, I'm here. Hey there, how you doing? Susan Long. You're welcome. All right. So on that note, let me find the right damn button. Oh, and we do got a QR code right up here. If you want to click that and buy us a coffee or something, you can do that. It's appreciated. It helps us. You don't have to, but it's appreciated. And you can support us by sending stars on any R.I.F.T Nation Network show. That's appreciated as well. Thank you for the compliments. I see those. But I am going to find the right button, not the caption button. This button. Yeah. The end video. So thank you again, everybody, for hopping on. we try to help and teach, and sometimes we learn in the process. So we thank you as well. So y'all have a good evening. Me, Jan, and Renee will be back next Monday. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but we will figure something out to entertain you. So we'll see you next week.